I love my kids, and they love each other, and it showed. They gutted it out and pulled together, and gosh, Kalaheo did such a great job that first half that we were on our heels. They capitalized on all of our mistakes, and good teams do that.
So they went with man outside, only one deep. They committed to stop being.
So we had to, we had some personnel issues going into this game, and we had to try to see what we could do in the beginning. And we, at halftime, we went back and said, okay, this is what we're going to have to do if we're going to be successful. Their outside receivers did such a job, I mean, gosh, it was like I was watching Xbox out there. I was like, oh my gosh. But credit to our defensive coaches, they changed up the coverage where we had to start pressing because they were just tearing up our zone. When you got such a tremendous player, and I can't say enough about that young man, because I just, I see him and all the Kalaheo kids that they play so hard. And then with Jesse, with such humility that, that's the thing that really I saw a great write-up by you in the newspaper. But you know what, you see beyond, I don't get to see in their locker room and things like that, but I see how he participates on the field, picking guys up, running hard, unselfish, blocking, tackling. And that, those are the kind of kids Coach Meller and I were talking earlier. So
you guys were geared in the first half to stop them.
Well, we know that, like in anything, in defensive football, you got to take away the best thing that they can do. And then credit to their offensive play calling, because they knew that that's what we were doing, and then they saw weakness with us. And it was that classic game of, punch, counter punch, where they did that. We changed up coverage to be able to, try to press more on the outside and still be sound in our run fits should they go back to the option. So it was, I can't credit my coaching staff enough, and just our kids, I love them to death. I think, you get no-huddle teams that are more finesse type that you usually see with those spread teams, and you don't really see a whole lot of that from a run team, but it physically does take a toll.
You guys have been using that a lot?
We've been for the past 3 years, and I'll never go back to huddling up because we can change the tempo quickly. We said that coming out in the third quarter that we were going to have to push the tempo. So if you could see that the first drives were quick, it was they're lining up plays and go, lining up plays and go. And then toward the end, when we got a lead, I probably the drive before the touchdown drive where we ended up throwing the pick, I probably shouldn't have slowed it down that much. I should have kept the pedal on the metal, but I wanted to go into our 4-minute-0 and try to just, focus on ball security. No, not at all. You dance with what brought you there. And with that too, like I said, we had some personnel things.
So you lost how many starters? 2.
We lost 2, and then we had to, because of some kids missing practices, we had to sit out some starters for the first half, the other. So, and you know what, Paulo, you do it like that. You have you got to set a standards, and you sink or swim with them. But
that's what the backup guys, that's what they're waiting for, their chance.
And then too, for us to commit to that, to saying, this is who we are, this is what we do, and we've lost games along the way because of that. But you know what, this was such a blessing tonight where the Lord said, I'm going to grant favor on you guys because, you guys have been battling, and we've had to battle through so much this season. I talked with my buddy Jeff Monken, the new head coach at Georgia Southern. We always text each other and call each other, and we said regardless, they ended up winning tonight against Elon, and who was, a team that they thought was going to be a little bit higher ranked going into the Southern Conference. But we always text each other, and we said no matter what, God wins. And that win, whether we came out on top of the scoreboard or not, and I thank God that we did tonight. But we knew that all those other things are just secondary. It was a byproduct. We went in, and these 3 things that we said we're going to focus on from now to the end of the season. We said 1 is discipline, 2 is doing it right. We call it being pono. And 3 is just play with great tempo. And with that is we're talking about great effort, as hard as we can, the best as we can. And then we said, our season isn't by games anymore. We said our season is play by play, from practice to every snap, knowing that on the field, we always say, if we had a bad play, what's the most important play? It's the next one. I think we were down, 10 going in. I tell you what, I think the turning point was scoring that first touchdown on the drive coming out.
Yeah.
Because I knew, right there, we talk about our black flag attitude, about being resilient, about being, no matter what, we're going to scrap to the end. And God bless these kids. We lost one to McKinley that we didn't play too well defensively, but I got to give so much props to our defensive kids. We gave some stuff early, but I'll tell you what, those kids have been much maligned, but they pulled through, man. They pulled through against a great offense. Not a good offense, a great offense.
Yeah.
And
their quarterback, he's got a nice touch.
Oh, he's got a great... And, I was like, can we please tackle this kid? He was spinning around. And those are the dangers. When you got an athlete back there who can run, and he's got a good arm, I mean, those touches were... And you got a kid, what was he? 13 feet tall, it seemed, when he threw the ball up. And I was like, oh, my God, my little guys. The kids were talking, and you know what? It was more, to the point where we are in the program. So you guys tell me, what do you feel out there?
Yeah.
And then we'll start. Then you tell me what you feel is out there, and I'll put together the second half script, and we'll run it. And then
so they said, no, just stick to it, just keep pounding.
Coach, they said, hey, coach, they talked about these 3 particular plays in order. And, we wanted to be more balanced this year, but, coming from behind, it was a matter of, we're not throwing the ball.
Who's the starting O-line?
The starting O-line, we go from left to right. We got Jonathan Lee, Nathaniel Timoteo at left guard, Ben Pacao at center. We have Tupe Taito at right guard and Joe Mongatea at right tackle.
Yes.
The offensive line pulled together. I don't know if you got to see. They got together, and we did this thing before we came on, and we just got together, and we said, we'll speak into existence what we want to happen. And then, so we would say big plays, big hits, turnovers, touchdowns. And they went on the side, and they said, great blocks, pancakes, high tempo.
I tell you, Kalaheo's D is tough, man, but you guys warmed down just bit by bit. In the second half, they weren't the same.
And then, too, our kids play hard, too. I was giving a lot of credit, and it's so due to the other team, but you know what? I have to give credit to my kids. My kids play hard. Yeah. And you know what? I think they play hard because they love each other. Yeah. And, we have some talented kids here and there. Overall, we're not blessed with the most talented, but I think the X factor is the passion that they play for each other, and it's getting better and better every day with that. Our young defense, I think, really did a good job of coming back, and, again, not allowing them to score in the second half, and then the offense scoring, 21 points in the second half.
Good job.
Thank you, buddy.
That's cool, Sean.